too. I need to come up with better intros. Where have I been is the real question. Sorry that this took so long. I have been exhausted. The program ended, and I'm still trying to catch you guys up. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. I also realized that these videos don't turn out quite the way that I'd like them to. I have no equipment to do anything cool yet, and I'm working on learning how to use a camera. Just bear with me. These videos they're working their way somewhere. I also realized that I write better than I speak. There's a lot more on my mind than what I'm able to get out in these videos. I have so much to tell you. But for the sake of time, I don't want to make these videos like 20 minutes long. I'm going to be somewhat swift in how I get through this. Let's talk about the second weekend. Probably the most awful weekend I had at the Allender Center. After the first weekend, I still wasn't really trusting my leader. Having a lot of trauma around females, I didn't really trust her intentions for me. Even though logically I knew that she was good and that she was doing this work to help us, it felt like there was like a hidden agenda in there, like that she was like tearing into me, either out of envy or out of like anger. It was interesting during the second weekend when my leader called me the provoker, and being Family of Origin weekend, so interesting how our groups mirror our families and just like bubble up all of the shame that we're like trying to ignore. And it all came out at once. That was kind of like the breaking point. I felt so much shame and contempt for myself that like I just went off, just drilling into my leader, being like, what is your problem? Why are you calling me this? I thought she was calling me evil, as in like I have evil intentions and I am just too much. I just wanted her to be honest that she thought I was a monster, to like mirror what I felt about myself, and thinking that there was just so much more behind that I just like don't fit in the group, and how that sort of mirrored my family structure of like feeling like the oddball out that like just didn't fit and like didn't mesh well with the rest of the group. I like went home after that group where my group leader like kind of called me out, and I just like, excuse my language, but I swore the shit out of my apartment. My roommate was like, whoa, like you have some really strong feelings. I was off my rocker angry. And I've never been that way towards a woman or had that sort of like intense like rub up with shame. I basically was like, fine, you're gonna call me the provoker and say that I am this like antagonizing, like poking person. I'm just not gonna speak. I made an agreement with evil that I wouldn't speak and I wouldn't use like a God-given gift. And I like isolated myself from everyone, which is like, it just like makes so much sense now that that's what evil was like attempting to do. It was like taking me out by isolating me and making me feel that I just like didn't fit in. I even thought about not coming back the third weekend. I was so scared that I like wouldn't be able to do another weekend with my leader because I didn't trust her and I was like terrified of her. And then the last day of group, as I'm like being quiet, one of the other girls called me out and said, you know, why are you not talking? And then I spoke something to someone and it like broke them down. And it took the 2 months between the second and third weekend for me to like gain some grounding on what the provoker means. And I looked it up. 4 definitions of what the provoker is, and 3 of them were positive and 1 of them was negative, and that like sort of gave me hope. It's not a bad gift to have, to be the provoker, but I do need to handle it with care because I can do a lot of damage if I'm not careful and I'm not wise. My voice can either be used for the kingdom of God or the kingdom of evil. And there are many times that my voice is actually in alignment with evil. And I speak too quickly, or the provoker in me comes out in a way that is unkind. But then there's other times that like there are things that need to be provoked out of someone, whether that's desire, fear, confusion, shame. My leader was blessing and warning me of the gift of being the provoker in that moment. And all I saw was the shame of feeling more and more like that was adding on to the label that I was this monster that like no one could be around or figure out or spend time with because they were just too dangerous. Getting to a place where I could grieve the role that I played in my family for so long and how that served my family and also how that served me. I wanted that to change. So that's kind of it. That's all I can say about the second weekend because I'm not going to break confidentiality of my group. But after that weekend, I was so ambivalent. I wanted to be there and I didn't want to be there. But that experience was probably the most like groundbreaking, like shattering and rebuilding moment of the program. Was like getting to the fullness of my contempt and shame through my leader, like speaking something over me that I didn't want to hear. Next time, I would love to tell you a little bit more about creating this blog and like the attack that came with that, and also triggers around being in front of a camera and the ambivalence around that. So I am not going to share more about my family structure because if you have questions about that, I would hope that you would come to me personally and that would be a confidential conversation. I would love to talk to you if you would like to talk about this program and this work. After this weekend, finishing the program, I'm still definitely processing through a lot of it. And I don't know if I'm staying in Seattle or leaving Seattle. If you have anything in you to pray around that realm of what it is that I'll be doing, I really appreciate everybody that's donated and prayed over this. I'm really excited to finish this off with you. I'm going to try and be faster at posting these videos. The editing just takes so long. My time before work each day is usually me like showering and like running around aimlessly through my apartment trying to figure out what to do with myself because I have so much to do and also like nothing to do. So yeah, I'm going to try and be kind to myself while also getting through the rest of the details of this past year and then sharing a little bit with you about what's next. So stay tuned.